Hey there, it's Chrissy and Charlie from CS2, and we have a very interesting topic that we're going to cover today around MQLs. So MQLs are a very hotly debated topic these days in B2B tech, and revenue marketers out there are scratching their heads because on one hand, we're being measured on MQLs and we're reporting them back to the board, and that's kind of what we're comfortable with. We see lead life cycles still measuring those. But on the other hand, everyone's talking about, ABM, how to engage your accounts, that the buyers are all unique, and that MQLs really have kind of lost their appeal because what was meant to be a way to prioritize leads has quickly been trimmed down, and really they're just a lead. So the question, and I'll question Charlie with this, is the only goal your marketing team measured on MQLs?
Yeah, I think this is a really good question. And I really like this question because one of the trends or the new terminology that's been developed recently is revenue marketing. And I really like revenue marketing because that's what's really important, right? We're a business, we're there to make money, we're not there to make MQLs. So I've got a bit of a problem with MQLs, or with the way that they're really being used today. I don't mind when an MQL is just an identifier for sales to be following up on someone. However, when that number of MQLs is being used to show what is working, what's not working, and when those numbers are going up, through the layers of marketing up to CMO, and I've even seen some people talk to the board around MQLs, I think that's where what their intended purpose for, which was just to tell sales what it is, and what it's now being used for, there's a disconnect. Mm-hmm. So because really, MQLs are a guess. We're guessing that this person is ready, and it might be a good guess. We might be using intent, we might be using behavior scoring, demographic scoring, and that all might be fine. However, no one's getting 100% conversion rates. No one's probably getting even above 50% conversion rates. We're wrong most of the time that they are really ready. So, that being the case, how can we be saying that if a program develops a lot of MQLs, that's a successful program, and that is what maybe we need to invest in the future? It's part of the story, but it's misleading. It can be a misleading statistic. And then at the same other time, the other point is that it can be manipulated, mm-hmm. right? So you can change your MQL model and make it really easy for leads to MQL. So anything that can be that easily manipulated shouldn't really be anything that we're basing big decisions on, like marketing investment. And then following on from that, what is good at creating MQLs often isn't good at creating pipeline. So unless you've got that connection, you're understanding what MQLs are turning to pipeline, that's great. But if we're saying, okay, these MQL or these programs creating MQLs or this investment that created MQLs is stuff that we should always be investing in without looking at pipeline too, then we're just kidding ourselves. And at the same time, with all of that, when we're just focusing too much on early stage metrics, marketing is now seen as a cost center because you're not demonstrating your impact on revenue. So that's why I really like revenue marketing as a new force in kind of the demand gen marketing ops space. Mm-hmm. Because when we can tie our impact to revenue, we have so many benefits with that. We're able to really understand that what is creating that revenue instead of just what is creating other more vanity-based metrics. Mm-hmm. And then that is what we should be investing in again in the future, actually taking a data-driven approach on what we are going to be investing on in the future.
Yeah. So based on that, it's pretty clear that we shouldn't only measure our marketing on MQLs. And a big part of that is their guess. They can be manipulated. What's good at creating MQLs isn't, always great at creating pipeline, or you might be missing out on some of those, campaigns that maybe are driving pipeline just because mm-hmm. they're not driving that top of funnel. And also it helps marketing not just look at a cost center.
Yep.
So if we're not measuring marketing on MQLs, it sounds like we want to be more tied to pipeline. So how do we do that?
So I know not everyone's going to be able to go out and buy Visible or invest in an attribution tool or have maybe the skill set within their organization to start really tying all of these data points together, because that's essentially what you need to do, right? We've got campaigns, we have touch points, and then we have opportunities. You need to tie them together somehow. So if you don't have that, first step is let's first have a look at our MQL to opportunity conversion rate. Now, if that's really, really low, then that's a really good indicator that maybe what we're saying MQLs are isn't really as valuable as what they really are. You know, if you've got a 3% conversion rate from MQL to opportunity, and at the same time you're celebrating things that are creating lots of MQLs,
or less than that.
Yeah, is that really beneficial to you?
Yeah, we might be kidding ourselves. You know, we're just trying to find some win or just try and hit that goal, and we find it really easy too, so we keep celebrating it.
So have a reality check, really, is the first step. Then, it's not that hard to get some kind of reporting that you can use. So in absence of a more complicated tool, no doubt you've probably got Salesforce. If you do, go build a campaign influence report. Go have a look at lead source opportunity reports and try and get some data points around what programs and channels are mostly related to opportunities. It's a really good starting point, because what you need to do from that point onwards is start operationalizing the use of that data. Start going out and speaking to the rest of the marketing team, speaking to your senior leadership and educating them on why revenue-based marketing, as opposed to like lead-based marketing or MQL-based marketing, is going to be much more impactful for you, because you're going to make better decisions, but then also you're going to be taken more seriously from everyone you're working with, including like the sales team.
Yeah, definitely. So you can, build those reports really quickly, start educating yourself, getting yourself comfortable looking at the data and pipeline. And it's not going to be, split out like some other tools are, but it'll give you a great indicator of what's really driving pipeline, what's really driving, big deals, which is, what everyone cares about as well. Then you can then educate everyone else and get them on board with making that change.
And if you do have a more complicated tool, then what are you doing even, bothering looking at MQLs? If you've got something like Visible, then your marketing impact reporting should be focusing more on this expensive tool that you've bought, which is going to be showing you more of the revenue-based reporting.
Yeah. So that's our tip for all you revenue marketers out there. Let's ditch the MQLs or MQGs, marketing qualified guesses, and let's start tying our impact to revenue.
Yeah, forward it on.